Everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is a segment we like to call At the Buzzer. We're joined, as always, by Jack Tiernan. Jack, how you doing?
Brian, thanks, man. I'm doing well.
So, let's start off. We want to talk a little bit about the Celtics first, and then we're going to transition into Steph Curry just dominating the league. But before that, what's happening with the Celtics? What's going on here?
Sure. So Celtics are at the end of their essential tirade on the East right now. They went 6-1, 7-1 for a bit, and then lost last night to the Bulls. Or we're recording on Tuesday, so lost last night on Monday to the Bulls. Pretty close game, pretty intense game. Jason Tatum had the weirdest triple-double of his career. The first one as well, but it was a good game to watch. But otherwise, Celtics are definitely trending in the right direction. Really, really fun to watch again.
Yeah, so they're fifth right now in the East. Good spot to be at. We've been through it in our show. They were struggling to start off, but you think they're in a better place? You think
That's generous.
It's kind of like, you think they're going to start playing up to their potential here on out?
I do. I think a couple interesting transactions we can cover real quick, too. So Celtics signed Jabari Parker, who was the former number 2 overall pick in 2014. To a 2-year deal, which is sweet. I think that's a great pickup because he was unsigned for a bit, and waived Mo Wagner, who they just got in the Daniel Tice trade as part of that, which was interesting because he was a young dude with potential. But yeah, I think going back to the initial question, right? Celtics are in a great spot. They have a pretty easy strength of schedule the remaining portion of the season, so I expect them to come out at least probably 5th seed. I think is as low as they're going to be the rest of the season. Knock on wood, but it feels like they're really coming back. Yeah.
So what do you think? Obviously, we talked last week about Jason Tatum just popping off. What do you think? Like the catalyst for this team playing better as a whole has been?
As a whole, man, I really think it's just health. I think a lot of the time, we've seen Evan Fournier for like 3-4 games at most. And now he's been out in health and safety for a bit. Tristan Thompson was out for a bit. Robert Williams has been out for now 3 games in a row. I think it's just getting guys back healthy, getting their feet under them. And as you can see with Kemba, who finally is starting to get a rhythm again, it's paying off for him. So if we get everybody back, like even 2-3 weeks before playoffs at full force, I think we're in good shape.
Absolutely. So I guess, is there anybody that you have your eye on who's becoming like a bigger contributor? You talked a little bit about Kemba kind of living up to his hype. Is there anyone else you kind of want to touch on, make people aware of to keep their eye on moving forward in this season?
Yeah, I've always said I love Jaylen Brown. He and Jason Tatum, again, fire and ice. They really are the 2 big guys up there when it comes to providing the firepower on the offense. And you've got Kemba, and then there's Marcus Smart, the heart and the soul. I think those are probably your core 4 guys, right? If Robert Williams can come back healthy, I think he's an elite playmaker on offense, and he's a solid role player on defense. I think that center position is always what's going to be important for us going forward, because if you can score in the paint, you've got a lot of teams kind of on their heels.
Right.
The only concern, I guess, would be really far down the line, and I'm thinking really far ahead here with, like, the Lakers, for example, who've got Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Andre Drummond, who can bully the crap out of your guys in the paint. So,
of course, yeah.
Yeah, that's a concern. But otherwise, I really think that the center position is going to be one to watch. I mean, Luke Cornett, man, he's shown up since we got him, too. He was supposed to be cut immediately, and he's been elite.
Hey, you never know, people have these preconceived notions about what's going to happen. But yeah. I guess as far as, they're 8-2 in their last 10 games, of course, is great.
Yeah.
Is there any team that you can kind of pick out from the East? Nets, obviously they're up there, but any other team that you are worried about as a Celtics fan as we slowly get closer to the playoffs, getting hot, I guess, at the right time? Kind of like the Heat
that's a good point.
No pun intended, but like the Heat last year.
I mean, I think if you think about it, the Heat could be an issue too. I actually am worried about the Hornets, which is really weird. I never thought I'd say that last year, because who the hell, who's even on the Charlotte Hornets last year? But now you've got LaMelo coming back from injury. You've got Gordon Hayward playing like what Gordon Hayward was supposed to be for Boston. I think they could be a real big sleeper if they make it through the play-in tournament. I think they are a team that is streaky, and if they get hot, they get hot.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Sure.
And like you said, like even for me, I was like, oh yeah, because you said the Hornets, and like my mind is like the Hornets are in the West because they were the New Orleans Hornets forever.
True.
Like our whole childhood was them in the West, and then it's like, oh right. The Bobcats are the Hornets again. Like it's a weird thing, but that's great. It's something to keep an eye on. Of course, we like Gordon Hayward. It didn't work out in Boston, but it was. There was that moment when we got Kyrie and we got Hayward where it's like, oh damn, we're gonna win like so many championships. It's gonna be great. And then,
I know.
None. That's fine.
And then, yeah, right.
I think we got a good team going on now. What was that?
Me too. I was just gonna say it's kind of like those two are like the Wicked Witch of the West, and then like the Good Witch, right? Because Gordon Hayward, everyone's like, "Oh man, like we love you so much," and then Kyrie, like everybody, like doesn't ever want to see his face in Boston ever again.
Yeah,
so it's kind of two very different departures, I think.
Yeah, when his career starts off with a horrific injury that he tried to fight back at, man. That's something you can get behind. Where it starts off very well and then goes horribly to end. That's I think there's reasonable disdain
different
almost from Celtics fans, and of course Celtics fans are not necessarily known, Boston fans in general aren't known for being too forgiving of anyone, especially if they feel crossed. But
yes.
All right, so that's what's happening with the Celtics. We're looking forward to it. Like I said, they're into the last 10. Things are seemingly looking up. Hey, thank you so much for checking out that clip. If you liked it, hey, maybe subscribe for more. We got videos coming out all the time on this channel and a full-length podcast. You can find us on podcast services, or just wait until all the clips are released and then I release a video of them all together in one long episode. I think you'll like it.